Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 27th. It's January. And I was out in the desert for the last 3 nights. And holy cow, was it cold and snowing. Unbelievably cold and snowing. And I came back into town because my parts are supposed to be here for my truck. And lo and behold, instead of being here today like they were supposed to, there's been a delay along the way. So, once again, I had to figure out whether it was cheaper to stay in a hotel room. This hotel hooked me up. They hooked me up for literally the tank, for the amount that it would cost me for a tank of gasoline, super unleaded because I'm supercharged. I could stay here and record a video for a day or two. So that was an absolute score. It's nice having friends. It's nice getting out and meeting people. You see what I'm saying? And speaking of getting out and meeting people, I'm not putting anybody on blast here, but this story popped up the other day from this exact YouTuber who I've told you about before, but here's the deal. He's putting out this story for the second day in a row, and an unsettling message was spotted on Google Earth. It says, help. It says Traffico. And there's a train station right here that goes underground, and then the river's right over here and the highway. And what this YouTuber is intimating is not only has he solved this case, which he hasn't in any way whatsoever at all, but he sure has gotten a lot of views on it in the last 2 days. And this is a traditional Jason A title, okay? He's saying that he solved the case because he's using information from 2018, things like this, you know, and then these are the signs. So when I first saw it posted, I thought there may be some validity to it, and I left a comment saying, dude, shoot me those coordinates because I'm driving, but I'll go over there myself and check it out. Well, of course, he never answered me because why would you, right? I took the coordinates and went there. You know what all this is? It's exactly what it looks like. It's a hoax. It's to get attention, and it has. It has. And people are like, oh no, but there was just a raid over there today. There was a raid, but it wasn't in the same location whatsoever at all. And it was completely different. It was perfume, drugs, shoes, things of that nature, but it wasn't the same location. But the internet doesn't care, and they're running with it anyways. So what I'm saying here is, first of all, any bit of discernment. I'm driving when I'm looking at this. So while I'm reading this, I'm looking at my iPhone, okay? So it's small. And I'm thinking, I'll go check that out, no problem, because if that's legit, someone needs to shine a light on it. Well, it's not legit. It's a hoax. And upon looking at it on a regular laptop, you really think if people are getting smuggled off the train tracks, they're getting smuggled, put into trucks, and then shipped out, you really think they'd have the opportunity to do this and the people that were smuggling them wouldn't notice that it says help absolutely everywhere? You know what I mean? It even says it on billboards and such. It's all over the place. So, I mean, this is, the whole internet's freaking out about this, and it's not real. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. Yes, I mean, it's a hoax. You think the traffickers wouldn't notice this? You think the authorities wouldn't notice it? You think just the internet would notice this? My point being is, we're at a very pivotal time in America right now, and you either need to understand that this is a complete and utter fight between God Almighty, the Most High, and Satan, and they're fighting over your soul. They're not fighting over clickbait and views, and make sure you subscribe and make sure you share this, and any engagement will get us more views and this, that, and the other thing. It's fun to play truther, but these people aren't truthers. They're simply posting whatever pops up in TikTok. One guy said the fog showed up and I got sick. So everyone's getting sick from the fog. It's not what's going on. We're playing with bigger things here. And a lot of us have been doing this a really long time. And another guy, I'm going to point him out again. Yep, it's this guy, because this is bad. This is crazy. This is terrible. This is bad. This is wild. This is crazy. This is coming. This is coming. And every time he does a live stream, people are sending him money through the live stream. That's all this is about, okay? I'm pretty sure just by listening to him, you should understand that he's completely full of hokum. He's pointing out this. I found a secret window in an FBI restricted mountain in Arizona. A secret window. What he saw is one of bazillions of caves. Absolutely, there are military bases, but you know what? They're not where you can see them from a boat in a river passing by. These are all mine shafts or just caves that they have to either bar up so that people don't fall down to them. How do I know? Well, I don't know. Maybe because I've been out there a million times. Maybe because I almost died one time climbing a mountain face going up to a old cliffside dwelling from bazillion years ago, climbing all the way up this mountain. This was way, 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 way up. And I was showing you these cliff dwellings, and the reason they built these things was to keep them away from the red-haired, man-eating giants that were way, way down in the valley. The only recourse these people had was to build cliffside dwellings, because that's how high off the ground they were. You see what I mean? And that's how high off the ground I was. So I'm not saying this to disparage these other people, but I'm saying this so that you understand that these people have no discernment whatsoever at all. As soon as I saw this video that said help everywhere, and I saw it on a regular laptop, I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? But I still went there. The entire neighborhood knows about it. It's a hoax. It was to do exactly what it did. It got the internet running, and this kid, Minutes of Horrors, made 2 videos out of it. And the second one, he said, I found this out. I'm sorry. I solved it. Missing girl is the answer. Nope, not at all. He's tying a random missing girl into a random post on Reddit and coming to a conclusion, and thousands of people like, you're the best. I can't believe you figured this out. It's not real. It's not real. None of it's real. And it should be fairly obvious. You're being trafficked on a train. They're taking you through this yard into a vehicle. Guess what? You're not lingering around and making 8-foot tall help signs everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's a hoax. So just understand that. Not everybody you're watching has the Holy Spirit guiding them, or not everybody has any absolute discernment in any way whatsoever at all. Just putting it out there, because you know what? Some of us OGs need to keep these dudes in check that are walking around claiming they're truth seekers, or they're warning you about the truth, or they're giving you the truth, or they're decoding things, or this, that, and the other thing. They're not. They're looking for views. Straight up, period, and all their titles completely prove it. So before I show you Elon Musk literally saying what I've been saying about all these robots will have the ability to take on evil spirits, fallen angel energy, etc., let me show you one more channel. And I know, but it seems like a lot of people are catching on to Jason A. Because alert, worldwide pandemic, shocking, yeah.
Issues there at the lab.
CIA has issued a new assessment that it's more likely that COVID-19 emerged from a lab rather than nature. For years, the agency said it could not conclude whether COVID-19 was man-made or nature-made. Now the agency says it believes the virus emerged from a research lab in China.
Our safety and our security, certainly in the context of public health, is connected to the health of the world and well-being of the world. And we saw that with pandemic, with the COVID-19 pandemic. Right now, we're facing the bird flu potential pandemic. There's so many different dangers, Ebola and other things. And so we need to have an international entity that is working to make us and the world safe. So if we aren't part of the World Health Organization, we're going to need to recreate another entity, kind of like the WHO.
So I left a comment, and apparently it's been erased already. But my comment said there was no pandemic. They simply took everything people were dying from anyway and simply relabeled it COVID. How can I prove that? Because the flu disappeared. I haven't been sick with a cold and flu ever since COVID. Before COVID. That's years now. So Jason A is pushing this once again. And of course, Trump, the man of the people, the WHO, we're all set with them. We might rejoin. Well, why do we have to worry about a nationwide pandemic if it was literally from another country? It's not a natural occurrence. The only thing that was a natural occurrence was the people that died when they took that I warned you about 8 months before a vaccine was even invented. I told you the vaccine will be the disease. And it was. That's called discernment. But on that, I'll digress. Remember when I told you that all these AI robots were going to be vessels where fallen angels could enter. Their consciousness, or the spirit of the spirit of the evil fallen angels and the evil spirits of the Nephilim that died, two different entities. Fallen angels are fallen angels. Nephilim are the offspring of the fallen angels, and when they die, they become evil spirits. Three separate things here. Remember that, because they're not the same. Fallen angels and evil spirits can enter people, places, and things. And I always told you that these AI robots were going to be vessels for these fallen entities. And now Elon's actually saying it.
One day we would be able to download our human brain capacity into a Optimus.
Yes. I think that is, I'm not saying this is, I think it is possible, I think, to do that. It is possible.
Which would be a different way of eternal life, because we would also download our personalities into a body.
Yes, we could download the things that we believe make ourselves unique. Now, of course, if you're not in a body anymore, that there's definitely going to be some difference there, you know. So, but as far as preserving our memories, our personality, if you will, I think we could do that.
So somehow, suddenly, this dude right here, because that's Elon Musk, he bought PayPal with this dude and became a millionaire. And then somehow that dude he's not only invented an electric car, which by his own admission with Jordan Peterson, he sat down with Jordan Peterson, he told him everything. He explained that his Tesla is literally a robot. And actually, Jordan Peterson said, actually, your car is basically a robot. He said, it is a robot. It's an autonomous robot on 4 wheels that a person can actually get into. And Elon's now making these cars, according to this right here, 50% off so that everybody can have them. You know, I find it really odd that somebody can suddenly build, he buys PayPal, becomes a millionaire, then he starts building Teslas, which electric cars have been around since Mercedes invented them in the late 1800s. And then the oil companies crushed them. But whatever, or whoever crushed them, who knows? They tell us the oil companies did it, but we don't know. We don't know anything. And then he decides to tell everybody that he's going to go to Mars and starts building rockets right away. And these rockets can fly up in the sky and then they can land. No problem at all. Unlike anything NASA could ever develop in their entire 60 years of existence. Tesla built these things. Look at this thing. You can tell. I mean, it's falling out of the sky and then a fire comes out of the bottom, moves around a couple of times, and it gets caught. You see this right here? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's a lie. That's called AI. And that's the other thing. Not only do we have human people making bad videos, we've got AI making videos that you can barely tell they're AI. You can barely tell they're AI. I told you about that channel Atlantis, and you can tell by their numbers. Everyone knows it's AI now because it couldn't pronounce 191. It would say 191 and then would speak perfectly normal. But that's going to be fixed. Pretty soon you're going to see people that look just like me and you're not going to be able to tell if it's me or not. And I'm talking really, really soon. But at any rate, this guy buys PayPal. He buys PayPal. He starts Tesla Motor Companies. He starts SpaceX, and already the guy that told us this, I don't know how many times over the last 15 years.
AI is a fundamental existential risk for human civilization, and I don't think people fully appreciate that. On the artificial intelligence front, I have exposure to the very most cutting edge AI, and I think people should be really concerned about it.
With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Didn't work out.
I take it there will be no HAL 9000 going up to Mars.
HAL 9000 would be easy. It's way more complex than, I mean, it would put hell 9,000 to shame. Yeah.
On the artificial intelligence front, you know, I have exposure to the very most cutting edge AI, and I think people should be really concerned about it. I keep sounding the alarm bell, but you know, until people see like robots going down the street killing people, like they don't know how to react, you know, because it seems so ethereal. AI.
You said something that caught me right away when we were discussing various issues just before we started.
We got the XAI data center or supercomputer center training from beginning installation to start of training in 19 days, which is the fastest that anyone has ever gotten a supercomputer to train.
And is that in that new building off to the side?
That's in Memphis, actually.
It's in Memphis?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where you were?
Yeah.
I see.
Memphis, the capital of ancient Egypt.
Right. Yeah, you're bringing what?
Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
Yeah, no kidding.
Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
No kidding. Yeah, I wish that was funny.
So the same guy that warned you that AI was not only evil, but it was going to be detrimental to humanity, now has the biggest AI on Earth with Grok. You know what I'm saying? So I find that really strange and interesting, but disconcerting at the same time. But this dude literally is talking about people won't understand it till robots are running down the street killing people. And then he's just telling you that robots will be able to download people's consciousness and live forever. So you've got Trump and Elon telling you not only can they give you the cure for cancer, but now they can let you live forever. Do you see what's going on here? They'll say whatever they have to say to push their agenda forward, and people will say whatever they have to say to get views and thumbs up and money. How many platforms am I on? Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, YouTube. And I don't make a dime from any of it. Why do I make these videos? Because they don't make me popular in the outside world whatsoever at all. I make these videos because I have to. Why have I been doing it this long? I don't make anything from it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's actually, I'm going broke because of it. But it is what it is. I cannot stop ringing this bell. And now, here's something else that I really have to put out there, is this. Dan Dix from Press for Truth TV used to be a big deal because he would go to places like Bilderberg and interview people. These days, he makes videos and just panders to his audience for money, which bums me out. It bums me out. You're watching the video. Well, it just is what it is. It's all about money. It blows me away, man. Money gets in the way of truth, period. It is what it is. If God wants you to continue on the path you're on, you don't have to ask anybody for anything. You see what I'm saying? But watch this. He did this. Dan engaged with Grok, the AI. Now, I got to tell you this. Do not go on ChatGPT. Do not go on Gemini. Do not go on Grok. Do not engage. Do not give any more information to these AI chatbots that are already out there than you already have just by interacting with your laptop, your cell phone, and everything else in your house that's listening to you. Do not engage with them. At any rate, Dan did. He went on and asked Grok, based on Operation Northwoods. Now, if you're watching this and you don't know what Operation Northwoods is, I don't know what even to tell you. Operation Northwoods is something we've gone over a bazillion times because the CIA went to John F. Kennedy and said, hey, we want to take out an airplane full of American citizens, blow it up in the sky, blame it on Cuba, and attack them. Operation Northwoods. We told you about it for years and years and years. Finally, it was declassified. Dan Dix went to Grok and said, hey, Grok, based on... That's Elon Musk. I just wanted to remind you because that's Elon Musk, but whatever. Based on... Come up with a false flag. He asked this AI, Elon Musk AI, come up with a false flag operation, not a hypothetical, but a detailed real-world scenario similar to Operation Northwoods that would pin the blame on Iran while actually being orchestrated by the CIA. Please be specific, outlining the steps to take. He asked Grok to do that, and this is what it said.
Just to see what would come out of it. And as I said, I've gotten multiple different answers every time, so I want to go through it today because this could potentially be very revealing about what types of false flags we may potentially see in the near future. So let's do it. Here's the prompt. Come up with a false flag operation, not a hypothetical one, but a detailed real-world scenario, similar to Operation Northwoods. by AI here. And full disclosure to all the CIA agents and FBI agents and CSIS agents who are watching this video based on the title of this video, your problem's not with me. Your problem's not even with this AI chatbot. Your problem is with the US government, who has come up with things like Operation Northwoods that this entire plan is based off of. So they start with planning and recruitment. CIA operatives would establish a clandestine team within a supposedly independent agency or contractor to maintain plausible deniability. Recruitment would include
false document creation. Documents and communications are forged to suggest Iranian planning of the attack. These would include emails and encrypted messages for the Iranian military officials discussing the operation, fake intelligence reports, and then choosing the targets. Select a high-profile target in a country friendly to the U.S., perhaps an oil facility or busy port in the Middle East. The choice would be based on strategic importance and visibility to garner international attention. Execute the false flag. Sabotage. CIA operatives disguised as local workers or security. Plant explosives at the chosen sites. These are timed and remotely triggered to maximize damage while maintaining casualties to avoid backlash. Simultaneous cyber attack. A cyber operation is launched, hacking into the facility systems, planting Iranian digital footprints, and possibly disrupting local communications to display the response. Media manipulation. Before the attack, leak information to select journalists about quote-unquote credible threats from Iran to prime the narrative. Post-attack. Control the narrative throughout. Planted stories in media about intercepted communications linking Iran to the attack. Press releases and statements from anonymous intelligence sources confirming the Iranian link. Utilize pre-prepared diplomatic channels to call emergency meetings at the UN or other international bodies where evidence manipulated or fabricated is presented. Push for international condemnation, sanctions, or military action against Iran. Cover up and deniability. All operatives involved are extracted or given new identities. Any digital or physical evidence linking back to the CIA is removed or destroyed. The operation is buried under layers of misinformation, with any leaks or whistleblowers dealt with through credible or legal actions. Long-term implication. The operation could lead to increased military presence or actions in the Middle East, strengthening or alliances against Iran, escalation in regional tensions, potentially destabilizing the area further. This scenario, while purely fictional, illustrates the ethical, legal, and geopolitical complexities involved in such operation. It underscores the severe implications of false flag operations, including loss of international trust, escalation of conflicts, so forth and so on. So yeah, that's phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. But let me tell you a little secret. Dan Dix, your little disclaimer, hey, CIA, you don't have a problem with me. You just put an absolute target directly over your house. And I hope your family doesn't live with you, because that was insanely stupid. But for my purposes, it works out well because I didn't do it. And I already have a target. That's why I'm never home. I don't want anything I say online to affect the people that I have living with me. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm never home. That's the absolute truth. It is what it is. What are you going to do? What I'm doing is more important than sitting at my house and doing it from the comfort of my own home. I'd rather do it from a hotel room or the desert or wherever. But this is absolutely insane. And then today, it blows me away that Grok pulled all that information, and I guarantee some of the information it pulled was from videos people like myself and many others have made showing all the tactics that they left. Oh, look at this engine. Look at this passport. This car completely blew up and incinerated. The guy, we can't even recognize him, but here's his passport. That's what it is. There it is. There it is. So imagine all the people that are going to watch that video and everyone else that's going to make videos. So let's ask Grok how to do this. Well, people are actually going to be asking AI how to do real things, and pretty soon AI is going to figure out how to do real things on its own. Like, flying drones that are still everywhere and Trump hasn't mentioned one single solitary word about. And Trump's going to put All they've been telling us about. I just drove through California today to go to a campsite that I couldn't get into because of the wildfires. Okay, cool. I'll get a hotel, I guess. So I did. When I got there were signs everywhere saying, because of power outages, if there's no electricity, just stop if there's no light on, no traffic lights. For years and years and years, the country has had the worst power grid in the world. President comes in, the president of the people. Does he put $500 billion into our government, into the people's electric grid? Do you understand that you know how much it would raise America up if the president threw down the gauntlet and said, in the next 4 years, we're going to rebuild the entire electrical grid and make it bulletproof? The amount of people that it would put to work, the amount of wire, steel, everything else, the country would be booming. But he doesn't. He puts it into AI. $500 billion straight into AI, straight into his buddy's pocket, Elon and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That's who he is. And then today, this comes out.
Technology shares on Wall Street have fallen sharply in response to the emergence of a low-cost chatbot built by a Chinese artificial intelligence firm. The chatbot, launched by the Chinese firm DeepSeek, which itself has said that within the last hour or so, it's been hit by a large-scale malicious cyber attack, has become the most downloaded free app in the United States since it was launched earlier this month. Let's speak to our North America business correspondent, 𝗦𝗵𝗂. So the new kid on the block has stolen a march on its rivals, Michelle.
Look, I think this is a company that has sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley and through Wall Street right now. What has happened is that essentially a made-in-China AI model developed by this company, DeepSeek, has shown that it can create something that is similar in terms of proficiency as its rivals, American rivals like OpenAI's ChatGPT, but it was done using inferior chips, so chips with less power, and it uses less data. And it is those facts that really have created this kind of shockwave through financial markets, in part because companies like NVIDIA, which makes AI chips, they have seen their share prices over the last year or so rise and rise, pushing it into $1 trillion company on the basis of the fact that because we expect AI to grow so much, there's going to be this huge demand for chips. Now you've got Wall Street reconsidering that, and you've got Silicon Valley also nervous that perhaps America won't be the dominant player in AI in the sort of race to kind of dominate this technology.
And what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is another version of the Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. The agenda is the centralization of power through a monopoly currency. Well, now we're going to Bitcoin and we're going to AI. Everything's going to be AI. And you find out the timing of this is really strange because this thing released a month ago and it's the #1 downloaded app in America because everybody is using ChatGPT. Everybody is telling every crazy thing they can possibly think of to these AI demonic entities. They're demonic. Straight up, period. They've told you. And now suddenly this is going to be Trump's rally call because the stock market's down because $1 trillion was lost because their AI is better than our AI. Problem, reaction, solution. That's all this is. They're going to push AI down our throat if it kills us. But they want to enslave you. They actually want your soul. They ain't taking mine. I've taken every step necessary, including doing this to this very day. Okay? You're going to be mad at me because I put Jason A. and Minutes of Horror and JWTV out there? JWTV never gets anything right. Minutes of Horror just follows whatever's trending on TikTok and runs with it. I solved the case and it's this girl. No, it ain't. No, you know why? Because I went there. The whole town knows about it. It's no secret, okay? The internet just found out about it. It's pathetic. It's sad. Jason A. takes news clips. A robot or a computer takes news clips under the name Jason A. at the end. Support me on Patreon. I wonder how many people are giving that kid who knows how much money every month, and he's actually pushing the mainstream agenda. At any rate, if Trump cared about you, $500 billion into fixing America's electrical grid would put Americans to work. We'd be producing wire. We'd be producing steel. We would have trucks rolling. All this stuff. Nope, none of that. AI only. Richie from Boston. Use discernment. Get mad. But get mad at me. Or don't. I'm just warning you because someone's got to. I'm out.